Okay, so I figured I would read in Matthew chapter 14, 22 through 33. It says, "And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away." And I already messed up. While he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with the waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It is a spirit." They cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, "Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid." And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee water. Bid me come unto thee on the water." And he said, "Come." And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and began to sink. He cried, saying, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, "O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?" And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. And when they were in the ship, then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, "Of a truth, thou art the Son of God." So, what's going on here? Or what can we learn from this and take from this? Basically, an overview, you have... Sorry, my eyes kind of watery. You have an overview. You have, like, Jesus sitting here kind of coming back down, walking on the water, on the sea. And then Peter's like, "Oh, he sees Jesus. Hey, Jesus, if that's really you, let me come out there to you." "Sure, come. Okay. And he starts to look at the waves, looking, starts to sing, "Jesus, help me. Sure. Picks him back up, and then Peter and Jesus get back in the boat. And it's like, oh, wow, you really are Jesus because of all that. Wow, that's amazing. So, what can we really learn from that? I would say this. Well, here's one application, and I mean, there's, I guess you could say, probably a slew or a lot of applications that you can apply to your life in different aspects. But the thing about it is that, so you have Peter and you have Jesus, which sometimes how we start out, we're like, God, I'm gonna start out in faith and just have this little bit of faith that if you just say come, I'll come. So we're like, we sometimes we start out in life and we're like, God, if you just say, just do this, I will do it. And so we start out and we're going in that direction and we're believing God and we're like, yes, and we're on the sea and we're walking and everything. We're looking to Jesus, and as long as we're keeping our eyes focused on Him, it's awesome. But the problem is that when we sit here and we start looking at the circumstances of our life, we're looking at the different downfalls and how everything is like, oh my gosh, chaotic in our life, and like, because the winds are boisterous and kind of going like really bad and everything like that, we're like so afraid, and then what happens? We start to sink. We start to drown. And the thing is, and we're like crying out to Jesus to like save us. When, I mean, really, if you think about it, Jesus would have saved him anyway, whether Peter cried out for him or not. And I think that really just kind of goes to show how much God loves us, is that God's not going to let us stay in those drowning places. Although I think a lot of times we do have a tendency to sit here and to cry out for God to come save us and everything. But, however, Jesus came over here and picked him back up. So he refocused Peter's eyes back on him, and then they went together and got in the boat. So I think that's kind of like how in our life we have this thing where God has to come back to us, refocus our eyes back on Him, so that way our faith can continue us in our relationship with Him and in our walk with Him. So sometimes So, like whatever you're going through in life and whatever you're dealing with or whatnot, continue to have faith in God. Continue to keep your eyes focused on Him because He's the goal, like He's the center. And if you keep your eyes focused on Him, you can, so to speak, walk on the water. You can walk through anything. You can go through anything. You can do anything if you keep your eyes focused on Him. But if you take your focus off of Him, put it on your circumstances, you just get scatterbrained. There's a lot of times in my life where I have to sit here and I have to, people are like, man, I don't know how you can sit here and go. Or they're like, we know behind your face, we know that you're really not doing so well. And I'm like, well, there may be times where I may feel that way. But the thing is, ultimately, me keeping my focus on the goal, which is Jesus, and keeping my eyes focused on Him. And while although sometimes, since I'm human, I can't, I don't always do that, right? I don't think any of us can always do that perfectly, right? But the main thing is keeping the focus on Him. And so I think sometimes through my circumstances, I can be able to go through anything because He's the goal at the end of the road. And as long as we keep toward Him and keep our eyes focused on Him, we can go through any kind of circumstance in our life. So no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, understand that Jesus is right there and He's seeing you. It's not like Jesus had went all the way somewhere else out on the sea and just was like, oh, you were supposed to be following me, Peter, and he went all the way out here. No, He's not a distant Father either. He's there with you while you're going through all of this. And He's not an uncaring Father that He's there with you and He just doesn't care. He doesn't let you drown. He doesn't let you drown. He gets you back up and refocuses your eyes back on Him. And so that's how much He loves you, that He wants to walk with you. Not just simply say, oh, yeah, sure, let me get you back up and you can go on your way. No, He wants to walk back with you because He wants that relationship with you. So, anyway, I guess I'll kind of leave it with that.